Hey everybody. So I just wanted to come out here to show you a little behind the scenes of what I do to get ready to meet a client and what I'm bringing when I meet them. So when I first meet you, this is what I like to do, as well as every other time. There's gonna be things that change every other time I meet you. So the first thing I do when I come to meet you is bring this. So this is what I'm gonna bring to you every time the first time I meet you, as well as other times. This is something about the property. This gives you a little bit about the information, like how much the price is, taxes, how many days on the market, things like that, like what's the features of the house, things you need to know. Something, basically an overview of the house on paper, basically. And I bring myself one too. Ours is a little different than everybody else's. It has more information in depth when it comes to certain things, but overall it's the same concept. It's the same concept. And then what I like to do as well is give you, boom, this little magazine that gives a little information about a lot of things, but this is the main page. So if you're looking for some like a mortgage person or don't know where to go to talk to, this is the guy for you. His name is Evan. Great guy, helps you through the whole process. And this page right here, this page is going to be key. As you can see, there's different prices and different things. And you're like, Eddie, what is that? Like, what are all these different prices? Why do I need to know that? Because when you're going to purchase a home, usually what are the two things that everybody talks about? Down payment, closing costs. Those are always the two things that people talk about. Never the stuff in between. What is the stuff in between, they say? So the stuff in between is usually the attorney review, attorney fee. So attorney review, all that stuff that the attorney handles, all the logistics, all the paperwork that comes to passing along, creating the agreements between client and buyer and seller. So their fees could range from $9,000 to $1,200, $9,000 to like $1,200 or more, depending on the agent, depending on the attorney that you're going to be using. Prices vary to each one, which is a fee that is not part of is going to be paid towards the end, but it's like an additional fee towards the closing costs, because the closing costs is usually a whole other mess of things, which I'll go on in the next video, in another video. But then there is inspection costs. Inspection. What is inspection? I thought inspection is part of it. No, inspection is not part of the whole process when it comes to your closing costs. It's usually something that's initial that you need to do and pay out of pocket. Something that you won't get back if you're gonna not move forward with the house due to maybe finding something in the house that you might not like. Maybe the roof is falling apart and we didn't know that after inspections. Maybe there's termites that just cut the whole roof in half or eating through the wood in the house, and next thing you know it's about to fall. We didn't know that because of inspection. We only knew that because of inspection. So this is something that's going to come out of pocket. It could range you from $500 to $1,000, depending on what you want to do, depending how you want to do it. So that's a whole nother video on what you can add on in your inspections to help you get the best inspection for your home. So those are like examples of some costs. There's a whole list of costs that you can see from the page, but that's something that you're going to want to think about when you're buying a home, because no one really talks about that steps. Another thing, you get my beautiful business card. Look at this guy. Look how beautiful this is. This is a great card. Great card you have. You want to keep this. You want to keep this card. Just saying. So you get my business card. So of course you can get my information. You could set up this little QR code right here. It helps you set up a one-on-one with me on my calendar for a bio consultation, 30 minutes. So we could go over those process on a more in-depth, like sit down Zoom meeting, not being at the house, if that's something you want to do. So you get that too. And you're like, Eddie, you giving me all this paperwork. Oh, and speaking about this stuff too, before I get into that, like the house information, I also bring other properties in the area that closed, which is key. Because you're like, why are you going to bring other properties that closed, not properties that you could see more? Of course, I'm going to bring other properties that we could see, but I like to bring things that close because you want to know what are you getting yourself into when you're going to put in an offer. Like, are people paying over asking? Because if I show you houses that closed in the neighborhood and they're 10K, 20K over the initial asking price, then you know they're paying over asking in this neighborhood. How long have they been on the market? Oh, you saw houses close in 30 days, 20 days, 40 days. So they're closing pretty quickly than being on the market for 60, 80, 90 days. So at least you know that things in this market is the hot location. People want it. So that's something to think about, which is why I bring it. So when we do talk about putting an offer, at least you have the information about what you need to do to make a strong offer for you to win this home. So that's the thing. And you're like, Eddie, okay, you're giving me all this great information. You give me this beautiful magazine, give me your business cards, give me all these houses to me to have all together. How am I going to hold it? Am I just going to walk around like this all day reading and all that? Like I can't hold it in my hand while we're looking at houses. And then if I put it in my car, it's going to fly all over the place. What are you going to do this, Eddie? Like, I appreciate it, but dude, got you. Don't worry about it. And boom, we got ourselves a nice little folder over here to hold it in. Yes, EXP. Yes, EXP Realty. That's what's up. So you get my business card held right here. You get everything here. So when you're like, hey, I remember that agent Eddie, that fabulous agent Eddie that showed us the home, and he was so great. He gave us something he gave us all this paperwork, and I feel like I lost it because other agents give me paperwork and I throw it all over the place, but I don't want to lose that paperwork. That paperwork's great, especially the magazine. Oh, the folder. Oh, boom, and then you just pull it out. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, where's those house paperwork? Where's the house? All that house information, the house that we saw. Oh, usually it's all over the place. I got to check my account. Nope. Boom, the folder. So this is like some of the things that I bring when it comes to, of course, myself. But when I come to meet you at the house, I definitely come with all this stuff right here for you to have, for you to review, for you to think over, and maybe want to sit down on one-on-one to each and talk about even more after reviewing the homes. And after that, every other home that you see, I always bring this paper, something that you could add into your folder every single time you go home. You're like, okay, he brings this paperwork. You can add into the folder so you can look at all the homes, and you can even mark down on here, house number 1. I like that. House number 2. I like that. You know, this is what I do. This is kind of like my behind the scenes. Try to make this a quick video, but this is what I do behind the scenes for me to give you the best value, for me to provide best value for you as a real estate agent to my client, and make sure that you're well informed when it comes to doing this kind of stuff. So if you're looking for a home, looking to sell, you need that agent to guide you in the right direction.